It's absurd that among a species capable of exploring space, we still have people struggling to feed their families. Let's solve that problem. Let's graduate to more interesting problems. Quote by Douglas Kruger. Chapter 1. The Law of Ambition. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men. Quote by Goethe. The greatest among you shall be the most ambitious. Agreeably, ambition in itself doesn't guarantee greatness, but without it, you do not stand a chance. Life is whatsoever you make out of it, you build it. Some take it as an act of simplicity to tiptoe within the shell of small ambitions. And if all they can get out of life are the basic necessities to survive, then they're fine. You come to such a man trying to show him how much more he could make out of life, but to him you're speaking Greek. Hey, look over there. There are the mountains, there are the skies, there's the avalanche. That's where you belong. And he looks at you as though you're queer. Well, you're queer as well because your school of thought is tiring to him. You can't make a man see what he has no capacity to conceive. Why should he go that far? Why should he go through the stress of climbing to the mountains when he can settle on the plain and yet enjoy the best of life? In fact, the mountain is not safe for him. Living a life of influence and affluence is too ambitious. He just wants to be fine with life. He doesn't want to offend anyone, and he doesn't want to be offended either. He just wants to play it safe. In your world, that is a path to averageness, but to him, that is being realistic. It is being contented. That's the ideal life, and you can't change it. Why all these? You stand no chance to renegotiate your stake in life without the seed of an unreasonable ambition sodding in your heart. You can't plant the seed of ambition in people. You can only water it and make it blossom. I have met such breeds, especially those punctured by religious idiosyncrasies, which has taught them that all there is to life is God, and it does not matter the kind of life they live on earth, for as far as they serve God, they will have a greater reward in heaven. That is a faulty thinking, and there is nothing as destructive as falling victim to that line of thought. Let's think together. What if there is nothing like heaven? What if there is nothing like God? What if there wasn't anything like religion, and all there is the little time we have here on earth? Will that make a difference in how people live their lives? Well, I don't think so. Religion, according to Karl Marx, is the opium of the masses, but I opine that religion is the excuse of the masses. The real problem of man is not religion, but himself. His inability to use his mind to set the sail of his life, his inability to engage diverse thoughts and yet filter through to decide what is best for him. No force can hold down a man blazing with clarity. Blame nothing external, religion, government, family, economy, for the outcome of a man's life but himself. Whosoever or whatsoever you blame, you give the permission to determine your future. A lot of people like that. They find comfort in always having someone or something external to blame. For us to create a better society, we need to raise a people with a higher consciousness and ideological shift. To find your personal greatness, you need to be more ambitious than the average human around you. You won't have the courage, let alone the chance to succeed, without a flaming ambition pushing you to climb to the very pinnacle of success. You cannot succeed at the highest level and maintain it without the seed of ambition consistently watered. Life begins and ends at the quotient of your ambition. It is the breath that runs through our nostrils, and ambition is like the fuel that powers dream. Never a third world dream. The greatest tragedy that can ever happen to anyone from the third world climes is to have a third world dream. The problem that plagues third world climes is a different breed of poverty than we thought. It is the poverty of ambition. Third world thinking is a real problem that conditions third world dreams. be more ambitious. For the want of survival, we cripple our chances to renegotiate a more remarkable future. Healthy competitive thinking needs to be embraced as a culture such that pursues personal and corporate dominance to be nothing but number one. Smallness is now our greatest threat and enemy. Never play small irrespective of where you are. Don't allow your heart to take the size of where you are. You can be in a small place yet play big. Irrespective of how small your business is, have the end in mind that you're building a global brand and act accordingly. As a statesman, have the end in mind. You're not just constructing roads or infrastructure or leading or enacting laws for a better society. Rather, have it in mind that you're building the next wonders of the world. That is how a desert city like Dubai positions itself as a destination that attracts millions of tourists annually. It is competitive thinking driven by the ambition to be nothing but number one. We can only build our nation as little or as gigantic as our ambitions. That is what puts nations on the maps of the world. Same with individuals. Start doing remarkable things that will steal the heart of the world if you want to reshape the narrative. It is lack of national ambition that makes people loot their national treasury. That happens in a country, in a nation with not rusty dreams. Ambitions give birth to groundbreaking visions and dreams. You can't conceive ideas that are bigger than your mind. It takes ambitiousness to dare taking an uncommon path, because that is how great milestones of history are erected. In his address at Rice University on September 12, 1962, concerning the nation's space effort, he spoke on the endeavor to reach the moon. He delivered a speech to a large crowd gathered at Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas. President John Kennedy said, quote, "We chose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard, because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too." This uncommon courage to be ambitious and to dream big has the propensity to kindle the dying genius in others. In a visit to the NSA Space Center in 1962, President John Kennedy noticed a janitor carrying a broom, and he interrupted him, walked over to the man and said, "Hi, I'm John Kennedy. What are you doing?" "Well, Mr. President," the janitor responded, "I'm helping put a man on the moon." Because you dare to be ambitious, because you dare to chart an uncommon path to a phenomenal life, you give others the prerogative right to do the same. Your smallness keeps others small, so grow big. Dare to be ambitious. You may ask, why on earth will anyone dream of going to the moon? That is the beauty of ambitiousness, which is what it takes to dream big and crazy. Why dream to build the tallest building in the world? Isn't that unreasonable? Yes, it is. It takes being unreasonable to be a pace setter. The vision of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum was driven by a goal to put Dubai on the global map. Remarkably, he was asked in an interview with Steve, "What are you trying to do here? What do you want this place to be?" And he replied, "I want it to be nothing but number one." He didn't stop there, not in the region, but in the world, in everything. He was asked again, "Why do you want everything to be the biggest, the tallest in Dubai?" And his reply was more astonishing. Why not? Why not? If you can have it in New York, why can't we have it here? Great feats are powered by the wave of an uncommon ambition to be nothing but number one. That is how great visions are born and given wings to fly into unprecedented heights. If you want to be the new wonder of the world, an epitome of heroism, you need to be crazily ambitious. It is really unexplainable that people and nations possess varying degrees of ambition. Some would settle for a 40%, others 60%, and others 100%. Nations and people are both alike in this regard. What you settle for sets your limits. To advance our nations and cultures, we need to put on our thinking caps across our public and private sectors. Each day we set out, we are building a legacy and a future. We want to lead a life that in the sand of time, no tides of civilizations would erase our footprints on the human race. If we must live, let's truly give our best. Wake up and start early. If you start being ambitious early enough, you'll succeed early. Age matters, but it is no limitation. You can either begin to climb the mountain of a great future at age 13 or 30. For me, I started at age 13. That is one thing you will find remarkable about most great achievers, whether Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Michael Jackson, etc. In Losing My Virginity, Richard Branson captures his life experiences growing up as an adventurous teen. He reveals, quote, "We were 15 years old and felt we could do anything." Question: at what age did you realize that impossibilities are questions yet to be answered, problems yet to be solved, and the world is waiting for someone that will lead its course? At what age did you start dreaming big? The earlier the better. That is what we need to start teaching our kids. Be a little bit more ambitious irrespective of your age. Early is golden and late is deadly. When you start late, all odds are already against you. Little droplets make an ocean. Have an oceanic mind that is not limited by cultural thinking that limits others. Each day, add a little droplet to your ambition until it becomes an ocean that speaks of the sounds of abundance, inexhaustible. It requires a little bit of insanity and craze to dare big and bigger things. Besides, there is no limit, there's only your limit. There is no impossibility, there is only your impossibility. There is nothing too big or too small. Everything takes the shape of your heart. So the bigger your heart, the bigger your reality and what you dare. You can be the number one brand in your industry. There's no law that says otherwise. You can be a first generational millionaire or billionaire. You can build a massive wall of financial freedom around your family that no storm of life will be able to crush down. Be a bit more ambitious. We live below our potential, and that is why we are poor. The future is always shaped by ordinary people who dare to be ambitious and to do extraordinary things. To your ambition, add more droplets and more. Always keep testing your limit. Groundbreaking dream. Life does not always begin with a dream or a vision. It begins with an ambitious mind, an inner voice of relentlessness, constant curiosity and pursuit, a yearning for more which you can't account for. In due time, life rewards such mind with a dream that has the same weight as the ambition, but you need to be ambitious first. A dream is a reward for relentless yearning, curiosity and pursuit. The world does not stop when we stop dreaming. It stops when we stop being ambitious. As far as we keep our ambitions high, we'll never lack the courage to conceive bigger dreams. A dream is the reward given to an ambitious mind. A dream is neither big nor small. It only takes the size of one's heart. A small heart can only conceive small dreams. The heart is only but the mold that gives shape and size to a dream. How much is too much? Leo Tolstoy, a Russian fiction writer in 1886, published a fantastic short story, short but magnificent and timeless. It evaluates one of life's most crucial questions, the question of ambitiousness. Hence, the title reads, How Much Land does a man need? The story captures the tragedy of the protagonist, Pahom, who for his avarice wanted all the land in the world for himself. In the end, he dies on the adventure. Tolstoy's conclusion emphasizes that a man does not need more than 6 feet because, basically, that is where he ends up, irrespective of the wealth he amasses. The timelessness and beauty of the work is commendable. However, let's re-examine the question, because fiction always shapes our perspectives, and perspectives drive our lives. People who settle for little have chosen to live small in the midst of abundance. That is the ideology I want to deconstruct here. The ideology that preaches you should settle for less. The ideology that you're okay with the little pie of survival and comfort. People that easily get satisfied with little are self-centered because they cannot see beyond themselves. Small minds cannot see beyond themselves. Their goal is to escape poverty, and that's all. Their minds aren't configured to think abundance. There is no nobility in poverty. Don't romance it. You need more land, more wealth, more influence, more affluence, as much as possible. If you can buy the whole universe legally, morally, and ethically, please do. Being ambitious is not avarice, and don't be apologetic about wanting more when people are going for less. Also, your ambitions shouldn't gain control over you. Always be in charge. The tragedy that befell Pahom was allowing his desire gain control over him. At all times, man is meant to be at the control seat of his desires. It is disastrous when ambitions take the control seat. Dream big, think bigger, pursue more influence and affluence, create more wealth system that will outlive you, invest in real estate and create more assets that will outlive you. That is what I help people like you do professionally. It is about leaving a legacy behind. It is about creating leverage for the forthcoming generations. Your legacy will not only be measured by your thoughts, wisdom, but also by your assets. Stop playing small and embrace challenge for a remarkable life. Stop tuning down the volume of your dreams. So how much land does a man need? Tolstoy says 6 feet, but I tell you, as much as you can. To your ambition, add more droplets. There is no limit. There's only your limit. There is no impossibility. There's only your impossibility. There is nothing too big or too small. Everything takes the shape of your heart. So the bigger your heart, the bigger your reality and what you dare.